going to be here for an hour. We're going to tell you a little about the three principles and what they are, a small amount of education, and then we're going to do a coaching demo. So first of all, the three principles, what are they? Essentially, the best way of describing it is that we don't see the world through two camera lenses. We are actually the projectionist, and what we project out all comes from inside, all from our belief system script. So our brain is a predicting machine. So has anyone ever seen anybody that they kind of recognize and think, oh, that's my friend Sue or my friend Kate? And then you think it's Kate in the room, and then suddenly she looks different, or she lets her hair down, and you think, no, nothing like Kate. Has anybody walked down the street, thought you recognised somebody, you're about to wave and shout, and then you realise it's not who you thought it was? It's because all the time our brain is predicting, best guessing what's going on around us based on what we're storing inside. Now, what the beauty of this means is that because everything comes from outside, every event that we see, so supposing I see a car and think the car's driving fast, there is a car, but the speed it's going is my perception of the speed based on my predictions, based on my belief. So, for example, it might have a V6 engine, which is quite loud, so it appears to me that it's going fast. So, essentially, what this means is that nothing externally can affect the way we feel about things. Though, of course, you're going to say, well, of course, my feelings are coming from a football team who aren't playing very well. They're actually not. It appears that way, but actually, it's coming from inside. So, one of the things that once people get a kind of understanding of this and a kind of embodied understanding of this, then their minds go quieter. They live more in the present. They become less bothered about things. And every insight then that they have develops their level of understanding about the world. So, for example, they become less concerned about the future. They take more control of their lives. Let me tell you a story. About 2 years ago, no, 3 years ago, my Audi ran out of warranty. I decided to keep it. And a year later, the whole thing just stopped working. And it had only done 30,000 miles, if that. And it stopped working. And it was at Derby Audi for 3.5 weeks. And Callie said to me, our colleague, what's happening to your car, Steve? I said, I don't know. They're looking at it. They said they're going to do some tests on it the day after tomorrow. But I'm fine. I'm here. I'm training, doing the NLP practitioner. But the old me would have been on the phone saying, do you realise how long I've been a customer of yours? Do you realise how many cars I've had from you in the last 20 years? I've had 6 cars from you in the last 20 years and 3 company cars. But I just wasn't bothered. So it's given me more peace of mind. And it's also enabled me to focus on enjoying the work we do and being more my true self. I'm kind of less bothered about what other people think, less bothered about other people's opinions, and I'm doing what I really enjoy doing. So one of the things that we do when we're using coaching in a kind of 3 principles way is we're not like with Grow, like the Grow model is about achieving goals. Where are they now with their reality? What are their options? And what plan can they come up with at the end of the session? 3 principles is kind of more insight-based coaching. It's more like helping them tap into their inner resources. And the first thing we believe when we're coaching people with 3 principles is that they're perfect to start with. They don't need fixing. You don't need to read a book on personal development. You already have it. All we're doing is blowing off the dust. and taking you back to your true self. But all the stuff that's been gathered in your script over the years, all those limiting beliefs and doubts and scarcity mentality, and waiting until I retire before I can do an NLP practitioner, all that stuff just gets blown away. So today's theme was hustle, worry, not working in a free-flowing way or having a career in a free-flowing way. So has anybody got anything they'd like to be coached on? Anything at all, maybe to do with that?
I could come up with something if it helps.
Well, that'd be nice. Would you? Is it something that's a real issue for you, Chris?
Yes, I think it is.
Yeah.
Just very quickly tell you what it is. I'm due to retire in 5 weeks' time.
Yeah.
And I'm struggling to get my head around it a little bit, and that it's a big change, and I'm struggling to go into it gleefully, if you know what I mean. I worry about it rather than think, great, to look at the opportunity, look at what's coming in the future. I'm thinking it's going to be very difficult. I don't know how much money I'm going to have. I don't know how long I'm going to live for. All of those sort of things.
Yeah.
Is that the type of thing that you might be able to work with?
Yeah. Are you looking at the camera, Chris?
I've got two screens, so I'm looking at the would it help if I put it on the other screen so I'm actually looking at the camera?
Yeah, if you can look at the other one, then I can see you looking at me. Be a bit easier.
Yeah, bear with. Work through that a little bit.
So it's a really interesting one, isn't it, about retirement? That's better. So what do you do at the moment, Chris? What kind of do you do for a career?
I work in project management.
Okay. And have you decided to retire, or what's kind of come about it?
Yeah, so I work as a contractor, and my contract's coming to an end. My wife has finished work. She finished a few years ago, and we decided that now is a good time to be able to stop and start spending some of the money that I've saved.
Yeah, and are you like in construction?
No, it's IT.
IT. Okay, cool. Oh yeah. So there's always demand for IT, isn't there? Always demand for IT contractors.
Yeah.
So you've decided to retire, but you say you're feeling worried about it.
Yeah. Not all the time. Sometimes I feel I'm quite looking forward to it, but other times it's wobbles, I guess, that I tend to have.
Okay, so you're feeling a bit wobbly. You're a bit worried about it. What is the thing that's causing you the most worry, do you think?
I think it's probably the financial element of it.
Okay. The financial element.
Yeah, we like our holidays. We'd like to continue having our holidays. We don't know. I don't know how long I'm going to live for, so we don't know how much I need to have to last me.
Yeah. Have you got a financial advisor?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
And have you spoken to them about it?
Oh yes. He says, "What are you worrying about?"
He said, "What are you worrying about?" So
yeah, as far as he's concerned, there's no issue.
Yeah, you've done a plan of what income you'll get, and you can live on that income and still go on holidays. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, is it the identity of being a project manager that you feel you might, when you stop doing it, do you think it might be a bit of you's missing?
Yeah, I think you are right. I think there's an ego thing there, in that at the moment when I'm running a project, I'm in charge. I'm running things. People do as I ask them to, and then I'm going to be moving into a situation whereby I wouldn't say a non-entity, but no one will do what they're told anyway. I just got to do my own thing.
Yeah. So there's a bit of an ego thing about you're a project manager, you do things, you run, you organise, you lead people in achievements of projects, and
Yeah.
you feel that you're going to lose that.
Yeah.
And
I'd
do
say
you
so.
feel you're going to lose a bit of yourself because of that?
Um, no, I don't feel like that.
Good, good.
No,
But do you feel a little bit of your identity is going to?
it'd be my identity, I think, more than anything else. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Because it's really interesting. Because when you meet people who are retired, often they'll say, "Oh, hi, I'm a retired teacher. Oh, I'm a retired doctor. Oh, I'm a retired whatever engineer." So there's something about their identity with the job still. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you about something. Have you got a pen?
Yeah.
Got a pen? Just out of interest, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much is the worry bothering you? Does it like eat away at you, or do you find it difficult to sleep at times, or is it just
Um,
underlying?
yeah. I wouldn't say massively, but it does. I have woken up in the night thinking about it,
Mm,
and worried a little bit, and it comes and goes. I bury
mm.
my head if I bury my head in the sand, then it's fine because I don't have to think about it.
Okay, but if you think about it, you don't like the thought of it.
And no, again, it's a double-edged thing. I like the thought of not working,
Mm.
and having a lot more leisure time,
Yeah,
but again, it's the financial element of it that I tend to worry a little bit about.
yeah. So is it just a financial thing, or is it the fact you won't be doing um you won't be doing the work and being able to order people around anymore and be in charge?
I don't think it's the being in charge. I think it's the work that I do. It makes a difference.
Okay.
Yeah,
So so is it like some purpose?
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah. So you feel you worried a bit financially, and you're also feeling a bit of conflict because on the one hand you kind of like the freedom, but on the other hand you feel that you might lose a bit of purpose.
yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. I'm just going to stop us from where we are at the moment because I just want to explain to the guys what I'm thinking. Yeah. So what I'm doing at the moment is just trying to understand Chris's reality, his map of the world, what's going on for him. And it seems to be the words that came out were identity. Well, I underlined the word identity when he said retirement, and he said he was worried. Now we checked into that, and he's had advice, and the financial advisor said you have nothing to worry about. You'll be able to have this level of income, etc. And also, there's a thing about a little bit of identity, a bit of ego about the job, which turns out to be he feels he'll lose a bit of his purpose, which is quite, it's quite common really for people who are retiring that they've had, 40 years of doing a career and giving things to the world and doing things. And so I'm picking up a little bit of loss of purpose. So what I've been trying to do is just understand Chris's map, really, what's going on for him. That's all I've been doing. So all my questions, I don't have to think about what question do I need to ask or what's a great coaching question to ask him. Because all I'm doing is asking questions to get an understanding of where he's at. And that's it. So let's go back to Chris. So Chris, um, we think there might be a bit of a conflict between, on the one hand, you want to have the free time, on the other hand, you feel you might lose a bit of your purpose, yeah? And you
Yeah,
might be, you're a little bit worried about money because so far you use the words like, I've been saving and investing and blah, blah, blah. And now it's going to turn around. And that pot that I've created is now, I'm going to turn the tap on and spend some of it.
yeah,
So, what I'd like you to do is just draw a little, have you got a pen?
yeah.
Just draw a little stick man on your piece of paper. Now, above the stick man, just write your name, Chris. So, Chris, you used the term my ego, and our ego is how we know who we are, how we don't walk into walls, but sometimes our ego gets a little bit a bit too big for its boots. So we have our ego, and we have our true self, and our true self is with us from the day we're born, if not earlier. And our true self is kind of when our mind's quiet. Like, is your mind ever quiet? Do you have a really quiet mind at any time?
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah, what times do your mind quiet?
Well, I meditate, so that
Oh,
tends to
cool.
help quiet my mind.
What kind of meditation do you do?
I do Buddhist meditation.
Okay. And so your mind goes really quiet.
Yeah.
When you're meditating. And is there anything going on in your mind when you're doing that, or is it just peace?
Well, it's peace initially anyway, and then I focus on other things, which is part of the meditation.
Okay. But the peace part first, is your mind completely empty?
I tend to struggle a little bit when it comes to actually getting it into a completely relaxed state, because I tend to lose concentration.
You mentioned your wife played golf, and do you ever play golf, or
Yeah, I play.
do you go for a walk in the countryside, or have you got a dog?
Yeah.
Or
No, I haven't got a dog, but I do a lot of walking.
So when do you get your best ideas?
Oh, that's a good question. I guess it's when I'm out walking, I suppose. When
you're out walking.
Yeah.
So when you're out walking, your mind's kind of like, when you walk through a puddle and then it all goes, the sediment comes up. And then if you like look back, that puddle kind of all settles itself, doesn't it? Like a bit like a snow globe settling.
Yeah.
So when you're out walking, is your snow globe all settled?
Yes, it's settled.
Your mind's quiet.
Yeah.
Well, when you're in that state, that's you and your inner wisdom. That's your true self. Some people call it gut feel. But your stick man is your ego. Your stick man's the one who goes, "Hey, I'm the project manager. I've got purpose. Look at, I've got a reason for being." Now the thing is, stick man doesn't like change. Stick man will keep you kicking and screaming to stay as you are as project manager, Chris. Because stick man knows nothing about your future. It only knows about your past and your present. And stick man will try and keep you as you are. What do you make of that?
I think if you equate stickman to my ego, then I think you're correct.
Yeah. So, but your true self is about creating your heart's desire. And that could be anything. It could be doing what you want, finding another purpose. Or maybe you already have a purpose, but you don't know what it is. Purpose might just be enjoying life for a while and going some holidays and maybe doing something else, maybe running a project again or whatever. Now, anytime you feel negative or you feel worried, that's your stigma, that's your ego, your true self. Your true self has been, it's the real you. So hold up your right hand, hold up your right hand. Now, is that the real you, Chris?
I'd say so.
Well, it's your hand, isn't it? But some people lose their hands, don't they?
Yeah, it's true.
And so when you see those athletes that have maybe been shelled and lost the use of their limbs. I mean, we had somebody on Masterclass, a great guy called Ralph, and he lost use of his legs. on a mountain bike accident when he was 27, went on to create a really successful business and sold it. So his legs are his true self. His true self is his kind of spirit inside.
Mm. Yeah, I can relate to that.
So I just want you to, how do you feel now about project management and the ego stuff?
Well, I guess it's starting to make me try and think differently about it.
Okay, well, I don't need to try. Don't need to try. What I'd like you to do is just breathe for a while. And imagine, you're walking along wherever you like to walk. You've walked through a puddle and the sediment's all kind of risen up and you can see it settling down. And I'd just like you to breathe and go into that space where your mind's completely relaxed. So what's showing up for you now, Chris?
Sorry, say that again. I was
What's
zoned out.
showing up for you now?
Well, I was relaxed. I don't know that much.
Good.
I was in my own little world.
And how do you feel about that old problem about worry about money and
It wasn't there when I was in that moment. There wasn't any worries at all. It was all just
good,
relaxing. Yeah.
good. And how is it now?
It's still okay. I feel good.
Good.
Yeah.
Tell you what, you seem to be really enjoying it. So let's just go back there. Just go back there, and I noticed you closed your eyes yourself. Just go back there and maybe close your eyes if you want to. Just go back into that space and just breathe. So what Chris is doing now is he's just gone to that space where he's feeling his true self. The ego's stickman's kind of quieting down, not prodding him. And he's just enjoying the moment. The beauty about this is that anybody can get in touch with their true selves and have that quiet mind and quiet space anytime they want. And what will happen now is he'll start getting insights about what's going on for him. And those insights will continue. So what's showing up for you now, Chris?
So feeling relaxed and not worried about things. Just
Good,
in the moment.
good. So how do you feel about retiring now?
At the moment, I feel good about it.
Good.
That's not to say that I might not have another few wobbles down the road, but at the moment, feel good.
Well, those wobbles down the road, that's just what you're thinking about in the
Yeah,
moment.
Yeah,
They're not
true.
coming from the future, they're now. So if you just think that that's your perceptual system that's throwing stuff out, it's any feelings are coming from you, really. They're not coming from anywhere else.
That's true. Yeah.
Just breathe again. Just breathe again and get back to that place. So I'm letting him do this just to get used to doing it, so he can do it anytime he wants. And the more he does it, the more his mind will quieten, and he'll realise that it's his true self. Well before his ego came along and his stickman developed. And his stickman knows nothing about his future. It will try very hard to keep him as he is. In the same way that many of us, we think we can't do something because it's fearful and scary. That fear and scary is just coming from your stickman. It's not from the real you. You don't see little children getting scared about playing with a box, do you? They just get on with it when they're 2 or 3. It's only as that ego develops and their script gets written, they start making comparisons with them, other kids and the teachers do. But all this dust starts building up. The real you is like, imagine if you went into a costume shop and you're a project manager and you decide you want to have a different costume. So it's all dark in there, but you've got a torch and you shine it on different costumes. So you could be an IT manager costume, or you could be a sailor costume, or you could be a golfer costume. And we've worn different costumes from being very little and starting school. And so we're identifying as an infant. And then we get to the next year, and now we're a big boy year 1. And we have a different costume. And then after some holidays, we become a year 2. And then we go to secondary school and become a secondary school pupil. And then we become a teenager. Then we get our first job, and that's our identity. They're just costumes. The real you is the torch that's holding the light on those costumes. That's the true self. So, Chris, what's showing up for you now?
I feel more positive about things. I quite like that analogy you mentioned there with the torch as well. That resonates with me.
Good. Good. Now, the difference with like traditional coaching is with traditional coaching, well, we might have a goal, or we might find out the reality and look at his options. And has he got the will to do that? We're not really after that. We just have to risk getting some insights into what's going on. And he's had a few insights into, that he's really just a light, and the light's always there. But layers of dust have grown up, his ego's grown up saying, you this, you this, you this. You'll lose that if you lose your purpose, but you won't. Purpose is always there. So, Chris, I'm going to check up on you a little while. Thank you for doing that.
No problem. Thank you.
I hope you have many, many weeks of peace of mind.
Yeah, sure I will.
But you get what it is, don't you? It's like the old identity. Just shedding the old skin. And your true self will be. Your true self always keeps you safe, always keeps you fine. So, guys, what questions have you got? Of me, not of Chris, of me. Because Chris is kind of incubating a little bit. He's percolating. He's still got stuff going on for him. So just admit. Aurelia.
Is the purpose just bringing yourself back to the present moment in your essence? Is it just the practice of doing that, basically? Kind of like a meditation.
The thing is, it's like taking the presenting issue, which I'm worried about retirement, and listening out for keywords. Like this morning with you used the word saturated. The market's saturated with coaches. And I listened to that word, because that word meant something, a meaning that's quite deep within your script. And so the word worry and money, they're the words I'm focusing on. So what I'm trying to find out is I'm trying to discover Chris's map by asking lots of questions to get an understanding. And the more I ask those questions, the more Chris will fall into like an insight-friendly space. I do a little bit of education about, you mentioned ego, so a bit of education around the three principles and the ego versus the true self. A little bit of that, but not much. And then as we begin connecting with each other, and Chris is feeling I'm getting him, Chris is feeling Steve's getting me, he's more likely to drop into that insight-friendly space where we're pointing to his true self. And I never know when someone's going to get there or how they'll get there. I just know the more I understand and calibrate on what's going on in his map, the more likely he is to get into that space. Now, if you went to a traditional coach, they would be looking at his options of what he could do when he retired. And that doesn't really solve the underlying problem. It's like, well, you know, what are your options? Well, I thought I could go and play golf with my wife, or I could go and do this, or I could go and do that. It's all surface stuff. Whereas this is like, I'm okay.
Are you encouraging then that process outside of when working with them? I'm so sorry if it's really loud.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
And
as in, like, so they've experienced their essence, as it were, without worrying, I don't know, saturation.
well, what
So
will
it's
happen?
that experience.
Yeah. So what will happen is Chris will continue getting insights, and he'll start sleeping through. And if he does wake up and he gets a passing thought, he'll just let it go, because your thoughts aren't real. They're just like a stuff floating along the river, and they'll pass. They're not really real. But our ego likes us to think they are, and likes us to. Our ego is scared of anything that's new, because it doesn't know the future. No idea. But you know, when you guys think about all the struggles you've had in your life, everything's usually worked out okay. So we know that people will always be fine. And we know that people are perfect. People don't need fixing. So 3 principles is almost like it's like positive self-talk, NLP, positive psychology. It's all like additive. It's all like giving people. When you come on our course, you'll feel blah, 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 blah. When you do this, you'll feel blah, 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 blah. Marketing, when you buy this new Ford car, you'll feel amazing. When you do this, you'll feel this. When you buy our new products, when you get the latest iPhone 17, your life will be whoa. But we already have it. That's where we come from. We already have it. We already have everything. All we're doing with this is just blowing some dust off. And one of my delegates on the 3 Principles current program, she says it's almost like I'm swatting my ego off my shoulder. I'm swatting it off because shut up. But one of the things I found is that I don't need to use any NLP techniques. I don't need to use any timeline therapy, which takes 3 hours. Everything's already there. I know that everyone has the capacity to have insights, and I'm just helping them get to an insight-friendly space so that they can have those insights themselves. It's a good question. So one of the things that I said earlier on that getting an understanding of how our mind actually works, that everything's projected from inside outside, means that once you kind of start getting that and you get like an embodied understanding, not just a theory, but that we are the projectionist, then nothing outside of you can cause you to feel upset or angry or annoyed because it's all coming from inside. And so once you kind of experience that, when things do happen, it's like Sid Banks, who kind of discovered all this, called your perceptual system and your script that projects everything out. He called that thought, which can be a bit confusing with individual thoughts, but it's like thought is like just a gift we all have. It's not individual thoughts. But once you realize that everything's coming from outside, from inside, not outside, that it's your perceptual system, you say, well, it's all coming from me. If a driver cuts me up and I choose to get annoyed, then it's all coming from me. And at first I drop out of it and think, right, it's not, it's coming from them, it's still their bad driving. Man United start losing and my feelings start coming from the pitch and the ref. It's all coming from me, but it feels like that in the same way it looks like the sun's coming up in the morning, but we know it's not, but it looks like that way. It looks like everything's coming from, it looks like my boss is really annoying me. It's all coming from me. So for me, I learned about this intellectually for quite a few years. And then I did a coaching program learning how to do it. And as I did that, I kind of got an embodied understanding of how it works. And the more I experience realizing actually it comes from me, still doesn't mean to say I don't fall out of it, because I do. So when we designed our coaching program using 3 principles, we did it for 3 reasons. One, so the individual can get an embodied understanding and live in the present moment, not letting things worry them, being able to understand where people are coming from by the words they're using, 'cause when I listen to the words people are using, I don't listen to the words, I listen to what's underneath that, that's coming from their model of the world, their script. So we design this program so it runs over 8 months. So people start off and things are bothering them at first, but after a while they realise it's their ego, and it can only be their ego. Their true self is fine, and that anything that comes from outside, well, that's just people get upset by Donald Trump. I don't care. No, I don't care. I care about having a good world to live in and peace. But I don't care. He doesn't irritate me because I know it all comes from me. So that takes a while to help. And so we do a lot of coaching on the program that helps people realize and get an embodied understanding. And once we discovered this, we made the decision, the three of us, to give up a very lucrative leadership and ILM leadership and coaching business. We used to work with John's company. We're not interested in that stuff now, because this is our purpose, to share this. So the aim of the program is that people get an embodied understanding themselves, but we decided to badge it with a proper accreditation. So the Association of Coaching have accredited this program at their highest level, the Advanced Accredited Diploma in Coaching. And there's no messing about with doing lots of reading and lots of academia. All the Association of Coaching are interested in is this person a really effective coach? And so there are a couple of short assignments. They have to do 60 hours of coaching. And for new people into coaching, if they charge money for the coaching, for 60 hours of coaching over 8 months or 9 months, then it pays for the cost of the course. And then the third thing is they learn to share the information so their coachees benefit, and they share the information with other people. So this morning, I'm sure, I had a conversation with somebody who was quite upset, and I kind of understood what was going on and what was going on with her ego and her true self. And her ego was trying to make her feel guilty about something. And I could see underneath that. She pointed her in the direction of her true self. And she got it and was fine. So you have insights into how people are operating, which is really good, really cool. So, for the three of us, our mission is NLP practitioner and master practitioner, and sharing this 3 Ps understanding. One of the things we've done is we've repurposed 11 of our podcasts. So we now have a free program that we want you to share. Watch it yourselves, share it with people, give it away. So more people get an understanding of this. Now, the way we've done the program is it's comparatively priced with lots of other coaching programs, but we let people pay for it over 12 months. So what is a £4,000 or £4,500 course plus VAT over 12 months works out about £400 a month, which is easily recouped if you do some coaching. And it's, for those of you who've never done any coaching and you want to do a bit of a side hustle, it's a nice way of earning some extra money. So what questions have you got? Chris, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling very good. Thank you very much. Yeah, I one comment that I'll say, it does resonate quite a lot with Buddhism in that it's all about the self.
Of course.
And I've just had a notification to it. Yeah, and it's different wording, I guess. You're talking about the ego and talking about self-grasping self, but it is quite similar. So it's been an enjoyable experience and got me to think a little bit more about myself and why I'm grasping at myself so much.
Yeah. Well, maybe if you're going to retire, you may as well do something like maybe trying to do a bit of coaching.
That was one of the things that one of the reasons why I'm here.
Yeah. Well, if you'd like us to, Lorna can give you a call and have a chat with you about it. And obviously, Ange, so you've seen with her how her mind's quieting down, apart from golf.
Yeah, she's a different girl now.
Is she?
Yeah, she's a lot calmer.
There we go. I think with Anne, she's got a really successful business, but it's not really a true self anymore. She's in search of something else.
Oh yes, so that's been obvious for some time now. I should give her some coaching, shouldn't I?
She'd love it. She'd love it. So what has anyone sorry, should I say what questions have you got, guys? So you notice I checked in with Chris later, checked in with him a couple of times, and he's still feeling fine. Lorna, have you got anything you want to add?
Not really. I've just put in the chat the link to the Secret to Mental Wellbeing series. I see Danielle's grabbed that already. Quick movement. And no, I'm just, I'm here for any questions really. If somebody wants to chat through what the practicalities are about the course or anything really. If you want to have a chat more with me, then I'm at the end of the phone.
Can I ask a question? While we were doing that, has anybody had any insights themselves about what's going on for themselves? Because sometimes that happens.
Candice.
Yeah, I've got something going on as well in terms of quite a big change, and I'm quite well aware though of the ego and things, and I do really try and rein it in when it stops you stepping out your comfort zone and all that sort of stuff. So I'm quite like on top of that, but it was just a reminder for me to maybe I need to just enhance that a little bit more and just take a step back and quieten down just a little bit more. I suppose it just resonated with, what I've got going on. And I thought I was pretty good at it, which I am, so much better than what I used to be. But I think, I need to maybe work on it.
Because you've been to a couple of these, haven't you? We've done some coaching with you.
We've all got an ego that likes to, step in and keep us stuck.
Yeah. So thank you for coming along. Oh, Aurelia.
What do you think the base emotion is when you get rid of the ego? Do you think it's peace or joy or happiness? What do you think that is? I'm just
Well, I'll tell you
curious.
what I think happens. I think, and I got this from reading something Sid Banks wrote a few years ago. Imagine you've got like a triangle, yeah, and the bottom half of the triangle is the top half of the triangle has been cut off a little bit, and it's edged to one side. So you've got like the base of the triangle with a flat bit, and the triangle's edged to one side. I think the more we kind of fall into our true selves and start setting goals based on our true selves and our heart's desire, the more that triangle, the top part of the ego, comes back aligned with our true self. so that, I mean, I know I've set goals in the past for like, because of my ego. I want to have a big NLP coaching convention because I want to get more people coming in thinking, oh, quality culture, NLP, UK training, great. A bit of that was my ego. So I think when you're in your true self, you kind of, your mind tends to be quieter. But the same with any coaching I do, when I'm coaching, my mind's completely clear of everything. There's nothing else going on. You guys are welcome to come to any of these monthly sessions we do. Just because you've been to one doesn't mean to say you can't come to another. And anybody else who wants to talk to us about it, just send us a message or put your number in. How do you want to do it, Lorna?
Any which way, really. You can contact me on Lorna, LORNA, at qualityculture.co.uk. I'll put that in the chat now.
So have a lovely afternoon and a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.